This podcast is sponsored and brought to you by Adama Beverages Limited, the makers of the top-quality Faro brand of table water, natural fruit juices, and mixed-flavored fruit juices.
Imagine for a moment you're a decision maker. You have the power to shape lives. Now, picture a community where daily life kicks off at 4 a.m. Not for early work, not for prayer, but just to start a dangerous trip, simply to find water. What does that reality tell us, really, about the state of basic human rights, about essential services in some of our most vital, yet, often overlooked areas? Today, we're doing a deep dive into an incredibly urgent and complex challenge. We're talking about the severe difficulties Nigerian communities face, especially those in remote regions just accessing safe drinking water.
Exactly. And we'll be unpacking the stark realities here, the scarcity, the contamination.
Yeah.
We're drawing our core insights from a really powerful report by Nigeria Health Watch. It's titled Out of Sight, Out of Mind, a community struggle to access clean water. Aptly named, I think.
Yeah.
And this isn't just about looking at statistics or abstract policies. It's about the tangible human impact, the critical policy gaps that exist, and frankly, the urgent need for action that directly affects the lives of our citizens, particularly those who feel forgotten.
Right. So our mission today is to provide you, our listener, maybe you're with a key government agency, perhaps you're a decision maker with a really clear picture. We're going to layer in specific examples, some vital data, and some quite profound human stories, all to inform your crucial role in shaping policy and, importantly, allocating resources where they are most desperately needed. Okay, let's get into it. So let's begin our journey by stepping into Simami. It's also known as Ubo. This is a remote village. It's nestled in Rubochi Ward, Kuje Area Council, right here in the Federal Capital Territory. We're not talking about a huge city here. It's a community of just over 1,000 people. A resilient mix of Gabagi and Bassa tribes and their livelihoods, primarily farming guinea corn, maize, yam. It paints a picture of self-reliance, definitely, but one that's deeply vulnerable to environmental factors.
And that vulnerability becomes crystal clear when we look at their water situation. Their main sources are dug wells. But during the peak dry season, they dry up completely. Now, this isn't just a minor inconvenience. It removes their primary option entirely. It forces them to rely on a single, frankly, alarming alternative, a stagnant, shallow stream. And this stream, as the report makes very clear, has to serve all domestic purposes. That includes drinking water. It's a desperate situation, really, born from a total lack of other choices.
And the report's findings from actually inspecting the stream, they're quite concerning, aren't they? It wasn't just that the water level was low, it revealed an unusual color. And there is explicit evidence of animal use, too. Clear indicators that the report directly links to the potential spread of waterborne diseases, things like cholera.
It's not just unpleasant to look at. It's a direct threat to public health right there.
Absolutely. And the human stories behind this, they're just heartbreaking.
They really are. Imagine this scenario. A 17-year-old girl, Jamila Abdullahi. She explained, in her words really convey their reality. She said, "Go let the water parboil and then we cook. If nog to drink, we go boil lamb first and add a lum."
Wow.
Yeah. This isn't some traditional recipe, It's their daily desperate attempt to make visibly unsafe water. Somewhat potable. They know the risks. They see the color. They see the animals using it. But what else can they do? It's a survival tactic, pure and simple, born of necessity, not choice.
And the impact of this, it goes far beyond just this one village in the FCT, doesn't it? This isn't just an inconvenience. It has profound, devastating human costs that ripple through the entire nation.
That's right. The World Bank estimates are staggering. 70 million Nigerians lack access to safe drinking water. 70 million.
It's almost hard to comprehend.
It is.
Yeah.
And tragically, that translates to at least 70,000 deaths in children under 5 each year, just from diarrheal diseases.
70,000 children.
Yeah. Those aren't just abstract numbers. They represent immense preventable suffering, thousands of families shattered, and, of course, a significant drain on our healthcare system.
And these statistics, they become so much more real when you hear the individual experiences.
Exactly. Like the account from Cynthia Emanuel. She's a 22-year-old mother in the community. She shared how her son used to sick every time. He is vomiting for 3 days now until I take him to the hospital.
Oh, dear.
And while the community members themselves, perhaps understandably, didn't explicitly say, "It's the water," the report's context, placing her story right alongside the description of their only water source, it clearly underscores the potential and, frankly, the highly probable connection.
It raises a critical question for us, doesn't it? How many other cases of illness and suffering are out there across our communities, directly tied to contaminated water, but never officially linked?
That's a chilling thought.
So if that's the dire health picture, what does it all mean for just daily life? The report makes it absolutely clear. The burden falls disproportionately on women and girls.
Yes. His Royal Highness, Aliyu Kara, the village head, he shared an observation that, well, it should really resonate deeply with us. He simply said, "We are used to it."
We are used to it.
That phrase, "used to it," it isn't a sign of admirable resilience, not really. It's a testament to deep-seated hardship, systemic neglect, perhaps. It means women waking up as early as 4 a.m. before dawn to start a hazardous 2.5-kilometer walk to that stream.
2.5 kilometers each way?
Each way. And for many, it isn't just one trip. Some have to make that journey nearly 5 times a day.
5 times. Just think about that time commitment.
Exactly. A huge portion of their waking hours consumed by the most fundamental task, fetching water. Time that could be spent on education, on economic activities, caring for younger children, or just resting.
It's a massive unseen burden, largely invisible probably to those outside these communities, but profoundly impacting their daily existence and their potential.
And the economic impact. It's immediate. It's devastating.
Yeah, the report touches on that too.
It does. Halira Ishaka, a mother of 2 who sells moi to support her family, she illustrates this vividly. She describes her routine.
During the dry season, water no day, we used to wake up 4 a.m. before we get the water. Only one time we go use AM. Anything 10 a.m., we go again.
So multiple trips, even just for her business.
Yes. She relies on that water for her business, for preparing her moi. That's her family's livelihood. Its scarcity doesn't just inconvenience her. It directly hits her ability to earn money to provide for her children.
So this isn't just a health crisis. It's a direct economic inhibitor, trapping families in a cycle of poverty.
Precisely. And beyond that, this lack of access also curtails educational opportunities for girls. Those countless hours spent fetching water keep them out of school or severely limit their time for studying.
Right.
And, critically, let's not forget the journey itself. Along those perilous routes to the stream, women and girls are exposed to significant health and safety risks.
That's a really important point. It is. So this issue, it isn't just about pipes and pumps, It's a fundamental challenge impacting basic rights, overall well-being, and ultimately the future human capital development of our entire nation.
And this grim reality, as you said, it's not just happening in Somami, it's reflective of a much wider national picture.
Unfortunately, yes. The Water, Sanitation, and Hygiene National Outcome Routine, mapping the WASH Norm Report from 2021, it reveals a really sobering statistic. Only 10% of Nigeria's population has access to all essential WASH services.
Only 10%. That covers clean water, proper sanitation, and good hygiene practices.
That's right. Just 1 in 10. And as you might guess, the situation is even more dire in remote areas. They often just fall off the radar of national development efforts.
It's a significant disparity, isn't it?
Huge. Rural communities make up 46% of our nation's population. Yet a staggering 39% of rural households lack access to even a basic water supply. Not even necessarily safe, just basic.
39%. That raises a critical question for us as a nation, surely.
It does. What does this really mean for our collective commitment to achieving Sustainable Development Goal 6? Access to clean water and sanitation for all by 2030.
The deadline is approaching.
Exactly. And the current trajectory suggests a monumental hurdle. It's going to require immediate, strategic, and sustained intervention.
Now, there have been initiatives, we should acknowledge that. Since the state of emergency was declared in the WASH sector back in 2018, the government has put plans in place, like the National Action Plan, which explicitly aims to improve citizens' rights to access clean water and sanitation. So the intent is there, on paper at least.
The intent is there, yes. And the framework exists. However, and this is a crucial however, the Nigeria Health Watch report highlights a profound disconnect. These well-intentioned national initiatives, they're simply not visible in remote communities like Simami.
Not visible.
That's the finding. Residents there explicitly state they feel forgotten.
Forgotten. That's a powerful word.
It is. And it points to a vast gap between policy formulation at the top and actual on-the-ground implementation in these hard-to-reach areas.
So is it logistics, funding, political will?
It could be a combination. It points to deeper systemic issues, maybe in funding allocation, perhaps in accountability mechanisms, or maybe just a lack of that sustained political drive to ensure projects truly reach the last mile.
And the community residents themselves, they voice this frustration so directly.
They do. Usman Muzitakura, for example, he says, "Bamuda wani projecta yanzu."
Which means?
There is no current project. Simple as that. And then he adds something that's just heartbreakingly resigned. One chairman will come, another one will come. It's the same thing they will do. After some time, they'll step down.
Wow. That speaks volumes, doesn't it?
It really does. It's not just a complaint about one specific failed project. It speaks to a perceived cycle of unfulfilled promises, a lack of sustained effort, and crucially, an erosion of trust between the community and successive administrations.
That's a direct challenge to the effectiveness of our governance in these absolutely critical areas.
And amidst these systemic challenges, Samami's plea is remarkably clear, very direct. HRHLEU, the village head, he appealed with such striking simplicity. The solution is for the government to give a borehole.
A borehole. Such a basic request, really.
Exactly. This simple request encapsulates such a profound need. It's a basic infrastructure solution that could fundamentally transform their daily lives.
And the fact that such a fundamental need, a proven solution like a borehole, remains elusive. It really highlights the implementation challenges we face, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It's not always about inventing complex new technologies. Sometimes it's about effectively delivering basic essential services.
Indeed. And bridging this WASH infrastructure gap, it isn't just a matter of basic hygiene or public health, crucial as those are. It's inextricably linked to economic stability for families. And critically, it's about tackling those deep-seated gender inequalities that hold back women and girls so significantly. So for you, as policymakers listening, this really means prioritizing, committing sufficient, sustained resources, and ensuring they actually reach these communities, not just the urban centers, but truly the most remote corners of our nation.
But the challenge, it's evolving, isn't it? It extends beyond just providing and maintaining the infrastructure itself. Climate change, that poses a significant and growing threat.
Oh yes, the climate angle.
We're already seeing it. Droughts causing vital rivers and streams to dry up exactly the kinds of sources communities like Simami depend on.
The very sources they're already struggling with.
Precisely. So this raises another important question. How can our solutions evolve? How can they adapt to the increasing impact of climate change in these already vulnerable communities?
It's not enough just to build a borehole anymore.
Probably not in the long run. We need to think about long-term water security, sustainable water management practices, climate-resilient solutions. How do we make sure these new projects aren't just temporary fixes? How do we ensure they offer lasting change in a climate that is actively changing around them?
It adds another layer of complexity. And as the dry season steadily approaches, for many in Nigeria, that might be welcome. Less rain, more sun, perhaps. But in communities like Samami, as the report grimly points out, concerns are just heightened. The question looms, how will we get water then?
It's not just a seasonal worry for them. It's a constant, existential question dictating their very survival.
So we've journeyed through the complex realities of water access in communities like Samami today. From the contaminated streams they're forced to rely on, to the immense burden placed squarely on women and girls. And that disheartening disconnect we see between national policies and the stark local realities on the ground.
Yes, and this deep dive, I think, powerfully underscores a key point. Knowledge is only truly valuable when it's understood and diligently applied. For you, as decision makers, this report highlights not just a problem, but an urgent, undeniable call to action. A call to ensure that no community, no matter how remote, is genuinely left out of sight, out of mind.
That phrase again.
And that used-to-it mentality we heard from the village head. While it might sound like endurance, it's actually a profound indictment, isn't it, of a system that has allowed basic human needs to remain unmet for far too long.
So as you reflect on what we've discussed in this deep dive, what really stands out to you? How might your agencies ensure that critical initiatives don't just reach, but are actually sustained in every community? Especially as climate patterns shift and make those traditional water sources even more precarious. And maybe thinking beyond just the physical infrastructure. How do we begin to rebuild the trust that seems to have been eroded by perhaps decades of unfulfilled promises? That's something really important to mull over, I think, for the future of all Nigerians.
Absolutely. The challenge of potable water access is definitely multifaceted. It demands innovative solutions. Solutions that consider everything from those very localized infrastructure needs right up to the broader global impacts of climate change. Bridging this critical gap isn't just an aspiration. It is absolutely essential for the health, the prosperity, and the equality of all Nigerians.
Thank you so much for joining us on this critical deep dive today. We truly hope this has equipped you with valuable insights for the vital work that lies ahead.
We at Restore Nigeria News are super excited to introduce you to the one and only Adama Beverages Limited, the makers of the Faro brand of beverages. The Faro brand is top class. From the classic lemonade and orange crush to the super refreshing tropical pineapple, mango, apple, and coconut mixed fruit juices, they've got everything. And let's not forget about their flagship Faro table water. That's because they use a special cold pressing technique that preserves all the natural flavors and nutrients of the fruit. No pasteurization, no added sugar, just pure, unadulterated deliciousness. Whether you're looking for a refreshing lemonade, a tropical punch, a delicious fruit juice, or a nice cold bottle of water, make sure you look for the Faro brand at your local store. We just want to say a big thank you to Adama Beverages Limited for sponsoring this video. We're super grateful for the support. And until next time, stay curious, stay thirsty, and most importantly, drink Faro water and fruit juices.